Well, today is National Day of the Deployed.
This morning we're joined by Senior Master Sergeant Nicole Gruber to talk a little bit about the day. So kind of just talk about, the day and National Day of the Deployed and what that really means.
Yeah, so here in South Dakota we have at any given time several members of the South Dakota National Guard that are deployed all over the world. Approximately 30 right now. That number fluctuates, of course, but today is a day where we think about them, we honor them, and their bravery and their sacrifice, and not just our military members, but their families and the communities that support them as well.
I think it's really easy to kind of say, oh, those people are deployed, but not really understand what that means for them and what that means for their family. Can you talk a little bit about what that sacrifice is?
Yeah, of course. As someone who has deployed a few times, I can speak to that from my own experience. So being deployed is for the military member when we take everything that we have trained hard to do and we go serve in another location. Sometimes that means just leaving Sioux Falls and going out in South Dakota. We can be deployed in our own state to support it in its time of need. But we also go to other states, other countries, of course, overseas to support missions. And we train to deploy. So we go and we do what we know and to give back and serve. Deployment also means something different for our families, right? They have to support us and send us out, and that's hard. And their sacrifice for them. Many military members will tell you it's more of a sacrifice for our families at times than it is for us, and that's true. In South Dakota, the National Guard, we are citizen soldiers. So many of us work in our communities and have full-time jobs. And so the communities also have to support a deployed member by letting us go and encouraging us and supporting us as we go. And other people have to fill in those gaps around us. So it takes the support of all, our families, our communities, our workplaces, so that we can go and get the mission and get the job done.
Yeah, you talk about that community support, and my cousin was recently just deployed. Her husband just is at her house all the time eating dinner, and they get a little bit lonely, and I think that's, uncommon to talk about that, just how, the effect on the family as well.
Yeah.
How important is community support, like you kind of mentioned?
Oh, it's huge. It's everything. And thankfully we live in a state that's very military friendly, very supportive. Walking in here this morning, I got to thank you for your service. That's common. Our families don't get that as much. They don't wear this uniform, but they serve. They definitely serve and sacrifice. And so supporting me is supporting my family. And so there's various ways you can do that. We don't, here in Sioux Falls on this side of the state, we don't have a large military installation. So we really rely on the support of on the air side, it's the Family Volunteer Group, and on the Army side, the Family Readiness Group. Those organizations come in and help us when we're deployed and support our families, but there's lots of organizations in our communities, the Red Cross, the VFW, the American Legion, all of those support us and our families when we're deployed and at home, honestly. So lots of different ways you can get involved in supporting us and our families.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you coming in for this Day of the Deployed.
Thank you so much.